Hello and welcome to this week's PennEnergy News Update. I'm Stacy Schmidt. Transocean has filed a motion for summary judgment in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana. Transocean is requesting the court compel BP to honor a contractual obligation regarding damages associated with BP's failure to contain flow from its Macondo well in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. The contract between BP and Transocean concerns the Deepwater Horizon drilling rig. According to Transocean, in the contract, BP agreed to defend, release, protect, indemnify, and hold harmless Transocean for any and all fines, penalties, and damages associated with the environmental pollution originating from the well. Transocean says BP has refused to honor its contractual obligations, instead filing suit against Transocean, alleging company personnel willfully and callously disregarded the welfare of their colleagues and the environment. According to the filed motion, BP has cited ongoing investigations and BP's own allegations of gross negligence on the part of Transocean as justification for BP's refusal to honor its contractual promises. GDF Suez Chairman and CEO Gerard Mestrallet has signed cooperation agreements with China Investment Corporation and China National Offshore Oil Corporation. The deals illustrate the development strategy of GDF Suez in China and in the Asia-Pacific region. CIC has agreed to a $3.2 billion minority investment in the exploration and production division of GDF Suez and the acquisition of a 10% stake in Train 1 of the Atlantic LNG liquefaction plant in Trinidad and Tobago. The transaction is expected to be finalized by the end of 2011. GDF Suez also signed with CNOOC a cooperation agreement in the liquefied natural gas sector. GDF Suez will provide CNOOC with a shuttle and regasification vessel to be used as a floating storage and regasification unit in China. Portions of that agreement are subject to final Chinese government approval. Russian gas major Gazprom and German BASF unit Wintershall have agreed on the terms to swap Western Siberian and North Sea assets to expand cooperation and joint production. According to the agreement, 2 further blocks of the Akimov Formation of the Uruguay field in western Siberia will be developed by the 2 companies. Wintershall will initially hold a working interest of 25% plus 1 share in the development of blocks 4 and 5. Wintershall retains the option of increasing this shareholding to 50%. The agreement stipulates that Gazprom will receive interests of equal value in selected exploration and production projects by Wintershall in the North Sea. Gazprom will ultimately receive half of Wintershall's shares in the concessions. BASF Board Chairman Dr. Kurt Bach calls the deal an impressive example of cooperation in the spirit of partnership. He says the 2 companies will complement one another's strengths. International Oilfield Services Company Expro has recently secured a contract with Eni Iraq BV. The contract provides for chemical analysis laboratory work for the Zubair field in southern Iraq. It is Expro's first direct contract in Iraq. The 3-year contract is worth roughly $12.5 million and includes a possible 2-year extension. The Zubair field is one of the largest discovered oil fields in the world, and the Zubair Consortium has extensive plans going forward to rehabilitate and upgrade existing wells in the region while also drilling new wells from 2011 to 2012. Eni Iraq is the lead contractor of the consortium. The Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement says it has completed its review of all requests for lease extensions. It is part of President Obama's initiative to grant lease extensions for certain leases in the Gulf of Mexico that were affected by disruptions caused by the Deepwater Horizon oil spill and the temporary suspension of deepwater drilling. A notice to lessees was issued in June outlining the criteria for receiving the extensions. Those included production status, lease expiration date, and water depth. According to the BSEE, 97.7% of the 1,413 requests for offshore lease extensions were granted. The remainder did not meet the criteria and were denied or withdrawn. Thank you for joining me this week. For these stories and more, go to PennEnergy.com.